Hello students, welcome back to my class. I am Mohammad Asim, your English teacher. Today I am going to teach you English grammar. In English grammar, the topic that I have taken today to teach you is auxiliary and modal verbs. Auxiliary and modal verbs. So today's topic is auxiliary and modal verbs. First of all, let us see what is auxiliary verb. What is auxiliary verb? Do you know the auxiliary verb? The verbs which are used to make the tenses, passive voice, negatives, questions, etc. And they are also used for the ability, necessity, permission. So the verbs that are used for these kinds of things are called the auxiliary verbs. So you can say that the auxiliary verbs are also called the helping verbs. That's why the auxiliary verbs are also called the helping verbs. So you can say that the auxiliary verbs are also called the helping verbs. Are also called the helping verbs. They are used to form tenses, passive voice, negatives, questions, etc. Or to express meanings like ability, necessity, permission, offer, etc. I am not going to write so many things. There are many things that we can include. So we can say that the auxiliary verbs are also called the helping verbs. They are used to form tenses, passive voice, negatives, questions, or to express meanings like ability, necessity, permission, obligation, offer, etc. So the verbs that are used with the main verbs to form the tenses, voice, etc. are called the helping verbs, are called the auxiliary verbs. They are also called the helping verbs. The auxiliaries can be divided into two parts. So now let us see how can we divide the auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs can be divided into two parts. Number one, primary auxiliaries. Number two, modal verbs. Primary auxiliaries and modal verbs. In primary auxiliaries, we include verb be. In verb be is, am, are, was and were. Then there is verb have. In verb have we use has, have and had. And then there is verb do. In verb do we use do, does and did. In modal verbs we can add can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, ought to, dare, etc. So the auxiliaries can be divided into two parts, into two kinds. Number one, primary auxiliaries. Number two, modal verbs or modal auxiliaries. Modal verbs are also called the modal auxiliaries, modals or modal verbs. Okay. So in primary auxiliaries we use verb be, verb have and verb do. We use verb be in present and past tenses to make the continuous. Sometimes we also use in general sentences, in simple sentences, or we also use these verbs to make the continuous tenses. We use verb have into present perfect tense or past perfect tense. Also in we use verb have in present perfect tense and past perfect tense, and we use verb do in simple present tense or simple past tense. The modal verbs have their only two forms, present form or past form. They don't have different forms, present, past, future. They have only two forms, present form or past form, or some modal verbs have only one form. Now let us see some uses of the auxiliaries. Uses of the auxiliaries. Auxiliaries are used after the subject in affirmative sentences, but in negative and interrogative sentences they are used in different way. In interrogative sentences they are used before the subject, and in negative sentences they are used before the not. For example, we can say that she is going to school. She is going to school. This is affirmative sentence. In affirmative sentence we use auxiliary verb after the subject, but in negative sentence in interrogative sentence we use auxiliary verb before the subject. For example, is she going to school? Auxiliary verb is used before the subject. In negative we use auxiliary verb before not. For example, we can say she is not going to school. Going to school is used before not. So in assertive sentence, in affirmative sentence we use auxiliary verb before subject after subject, but in interrogative sentence we use auxiliary verb before subject. In negative sentence we use auxiliary verb before not. See one more example. She has arrived. Has is used after subject. The auxiliary verb is used after subject. But if the sentence is interrogative, we will use the auxiliary verb before the subject. Has she arrived? Has she arrived? This is used before the subject. We use the auxiliary verb as I told you before, not. So in this sentence, she has not arrived. She has not arrived. Has is used, auxiliary verb is used before the subject. It does not matter. The auxiliary verb is primary, either it is primary auxiliary or modal auxiliaries. All auxiliaries are used in the same way. Okay. Now let us see more things. The auxiliaries be and have. Be and have are used. Be and have are used to make the different tenses. For example, they are used with the main verb. Verb be and verb have are used with the main verb to make different tenses, to make the tense. We can say that she is dancing. She is dancing. This is present continuous tense. Present continuous tense. So is used with the main verb dancing, dance, with ing form, and it is going to make the present continuous tense. We can also use have is also, verb have is also used to make the tense with the help of main verb. For example, they have arrived. They have arrived. Present perfect tense. This is present perfect tense. So in this way we can use verb be and verb have to make different tenses. We can also use the present or past form of these verbs. For example, he was going to school. He was going to school. These two are going to make the past continuous tense. Past continuous tense. In the same way, we can use has or had to make it if the subject is singular, we can use has, and if we are going to use past tense, then we can use had in past perfect tense. For example, they had completed their work. They had completed their work. This is past perfect tense. Past perfect tense. So in this way we can use verb be and verb have to make the tenses, to form the tenses. Now let us see more things. Auxiliary do is used to form the questions and negatives in simple present and simple past tenses. They are not used in affirmative sentences. Verb do are only used in assertive or as auxiliary verb in interrogative or negative sentences. They are not used in affirmative sentences. For example, we can say that he does not go to school. We use we use verb do, auxiliary verb do in negative or interrogative sentences. We can say, does he go to school? Does he go to school? This is negative sentence, interrogative sentence. So we use auxiliary verbs do, auxiliary verb do into negative and interrogative sentences only. We don't use these auxiliary verbs into affirmative sentences. So these are, you can also see the example, India own, India own. This is simple past tense affirmative sentence, but we didn't use the did, the auxiliary verb did. But if we are going to use, if we are going to change it into interrogative and negative sentences, then we must use did, auxiliary verb did. For example, did India win? This is interrogative sentence. That's why we will use auxiliary verb do. India did not win. If we are going to use the negative, then also we will use auxiliary verb do. So these are the uses of the auxiliary verbs. Okay, modal verbs. As I told you in this lecture, that auxiliary verbs can be divided into primary auxiliaries and modal auxiliaries. Primary auxiliaries are be, auxiliary verb be, have and do, and modal auxiliaries are can, could, shall, should, may, might, will, would, ought to, dare, sometimes need, etc. These are called the modal verbs. So let us see modal verbs. So modal verbs. The verbs can, could, shall, should, may, might, will, would, ought to, need, dare, must, are called modal verbs. So the verbs can, could, shall, should, may, might, will, would, ought to, need, dare, must are called modal verbs. They are called modal verbs, modals or modal auxiliaries. There are different names of these verbs. You can say modal verbs, you can say modal auxiliaries, or you can say simply modals. So these verbs are called the modal verbs. We use modal verbs to talk about ability, necessity, offer, request, etc. There are many things. I am not going to write all the things. So the verbs can, could, shall, should, may, might, will, would, ought to, need, dare, must are called the modal verbs. And we use modal verbs to talk about ability, necessity, offer, request, etc. So we use these kinds of verbs for ability, necessity, offer, request, certainty, permission, possibility, etc. So these are called the modal verbs. Now let us see a few examples of modal verbs. Modal verb can. We can use modal verb can for ability. For example, we can say that he can write English. It means he has the ability to write English. We can use can for permission. Here it is used for ability. We can use can for permission. For example, can I use your phone? This is permission. We can use can for request. Can I have a glass of water? Please. So this is request. We can use can for offer. For example, can I help you? This is an offer. So we can use can in different ways. For example, he can write English. It shows us ability. Can I use your phone? It shows permission. We are going to ask permission. Can I have a glass of water, please? It shows us request. Then can I help you? It shows us offer. Someone is going to give us the offer of help. So in this way, we can use can in different ways. Now let us see one or two more examples. Now let us see may. We use may for permission, as you have used it many times. For example, may I come in? We can use for asking permission. We can also use may for possibility. He may come today. It shows us possibility. It shows us possibility. So we can use may for permission. We can use may for possibility. May I come in? It means we are going to ask the permission. Then he may come today. It shows us possibility that the person may come today, but it is not necessary. He may or may not come. If we are going to use may, it means we are not confirmed either the person will be here or not at the given time. For example, he may come today. वो आज आ सकता है, लेकिन हम पूरी तरह से कंफर्म नहीं है कि नहीं वो आज आ ही जाएगा, बट पॉसिबिलिटी पूरी है कि वो आ जाएगा. ओके, सो दिस इज द यूज ऑफ मे. शुड. We use should for necessity. For example, you should apply. You should apply for the job. For the job. It means this is necessity. It means you must apply for the job. For necessity, we can also use must. You must get up at 5 a.m. At 5 a.m. It also shows the necessity. So this is also showing the necessity. You must get up at 5 a.m. And we can also use must for certainty. She must be at home. She must be at home. It shows us certainty. So we can use must for necessity, we can use must for certainty. You must get up at 5 a.m. You must be at home. So you must get up at 5 a.m. It shows us that it is necessary, means that person must get up at 5 a.m. and she must be at home, it shows us certainty. Okay. Use can for ability, permission, request, offer, etc. We can use could for ability in past and request. We can use may for permission and possibility. We can use might for permission and possibility. Okay. We can use will for future action, for request or for offer, and we can use would for request or offer. We can use shall for future action, for offer, for suggestion, etc. in the same way as will. And we can use should for necessity, and we can also use should for the past action of future. And we can use must for necessity and certainty, and we can use ought for necessity and obligation. So these are the uses of modal verbs. Now the chapter is completed. So for today my class is over. Thank you. Have a nice day.